Thanks for acknowledging our presence here today at the Cabinet Office. As you know, International Workers' Day, which is May 1st, falls on this Sunday. The Bermuda Trade Union Congress decided that we will be celebrating International Workers' Day today to acknowledge everything workers have achieved through the COVID-19 pandemic and all of our continuing battles to protect jobs, public services, and for a fair distribution of the wealth that workers create. We have encouraged our members today to wear red to commemorate this occasion as we celebrate workers. Earlier today, we had a press conference to first, of course, acknowledge International Workers' Day. We also introduced the rejuvenated, reinvigorated, energized, consolidated, and synergized Executive Board of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress, who you see right here, sir. The new administration of the Congress realized that there is a lot of work to be done, and have determined having some frank dialogue and difficult discussion that the best way to address our concerns within the Trade Union Congress would be to do it in a collaborative effort of unity and strength. This correspondence that I have for you, Mr. Keener, highlights and acknowledges that we have been in meetings, you and your cabinet colleagues, on a quarterly basis, to have meaningful dialogue on a wide range of topics. However, the newly formed Executive Board of the Bermuda Trade Union Congress must emphasize that during these precarious times, the government and all stakeholders must display the dedicated and commitment to not only engage in essential dialogue, but actively address the many issues that continue to remain outstanding. We must all realize that during these precarious times, all stakeholders must commit to establishing a solid foundation that will reinforce the commitment of the government, the private sector, unions, and social partners to attain the joint action needed for a sustainable and human-centered recovery. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to have these opening comments. I will present this document to you, and of course expect you to have some.
Good morning to members of the Trade Union Congress. Good morning to members of the media. Good morning to the workers of Bermuda. International Workers' Day, or May Day, is an opportunity to honor and celebrate the historic social and economic struggles that brought hard-won achievements. It is also to remind us of the extraordinary sacrifices workers worldwide make and recognize their achievements and the importance of their contribution to the strength and prosperity of our country. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought to the forefront the adversity that many workers face and has caused governments worldwide to reevaluate their policies to focus on a human-centered recovery that promotes equality, fairness, and respect for all workers. I want to take this opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to each and every worker as you continue to show dedication and selflessness during these challenging times and commit to getting the job done while being an example for others as you strive towards a better Bermuda for all. The Ministry of Economy and Labor is committed to ensuring social justice and the fundamental rights of workers, and is steadfast in our obligation to the workers of this country. Working in consultation with unions and employer organizations, the Ministry is conducting a targeted review of the Employment Act 2000. The goal is to further strengthen employee protections, focusing on equal pay for equal work, formalizing guidelines concerning tips and gratuities, wage theft protection, and establishing guidelines to ensure independent contractors are correctly classified. Understanding the continued challenges that workers we're facing due to the pandemic, the Ministry has extended the supplemental unemployment benefit to those workers who find themselves without regular income. The ministry is currently reviewing the implementation of a statutory minimum wage that will enhance the lives of those workers considered low-income earners and ensure that all workers will have access to fair and decent wages. The ministry continues to support the Wage Commission as it concludes its comprehensive review of a living wage for Bermuda. As we continue to move beyond the pandemic, the ministry looks forward to building a better and brighter future for the workers of Bermuda. I thank you, the workers, for your invaluable service to your place of employment, customers, colleagues, and your country. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister of Labor. Good morning to you, Minister of Economy and Labor, to my fellow cabinet ministers and junior ministers, to the Bermuda Trade Union Congress President, and to the BTUC executive, union leaders who are gathered on the lawn of the cabinet today, and members of the media. Although we are a few days from May 1st, I want to say Happy International Workers' Day to everyone. First, I want to welcome you here to the Cabinet Office and welcome the newest members of the BTUC executive. May 1st is a day to recognize and celebrate the struggles, the sacrifices, the immeasurable strength, and lasting accomplishments of the labor movement, as well as the invaluable contributions of our workers to our society and to our culture. I am privileged to be the leader of a Labor Party and a Labor government that honors its roots and continues to stand shoulder to shoulder with Bermuda's workers and continues to work with our union partners to protect and progress the rights of workers in our country in tangible ways. We have strengthened protection for employees against bullying and sexual harassment in the workplace by making amendments to the Employment Act. We have increased protection during the probation period by requiring performance reviews to help them understand areas where improvement is needed, rather than simply being able to be let go, putting the responsibility on the employer to nurture, train, and provide feedback to individuals. We extended paid maternity leave to 13 weeks, giving more time for mothers to recover from birth and bond with their newborn child. And for the first time in history, we also passed legislation which provides paid paternity leave to allow fathers time with their family without fear of losing pay. We've expanded bereavement leave to include grandparents, great-grandparents, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and ensured through legislation that workers are entitled to a 30-minute lunch break after 5 hours of continuous work. And the Minister of Economy and Labor closed a record number of job categories to work permit applications to create more job opportunities for Bermudian workers. Through continued partnership and collaboration with our union partners, we developed and passed the Trade Unions and Labor Relations Act 2020, strengthening union rights and workers' rights. I recognize, though much progress has been made, the last 2 years have been especially challenging for Bermuda's workers due to the pandemic. I am grateful that I can welcome you here on the Cabinet grounds today without getting, special permission for a large group exemption, things of the past. And I'm grateful knowing that these type of gatherings for the last 2 years were not possible. But as we continue to move beyond the pandemic, we will not forget the dedication and sacrifice of all of our frontline workers who work tirelessly in the most difficult circumstances to ensure that our most critical services remain in operation and to ensure that our people were taken care of. In addition to their hard work of our public officers, our union partners agreed to a 10% reduction in salary to assist the government in our COVID-19 response. And that allowed the government to provide over $60 million in support for individuals and families who needed it most. This would not have been possible without the selflessness of our public officers and the leadership of our union. So I want to say thank you very much. Much work has been done, but there is still much work to do. And that is why we will continue to meet with our union partners on a quarterly basis. And I have heard the view for more action to be taken on our outstanding points. It is no secret that the government's attention has been diverted due to the pandemic, and it is unfortunate. That is just reality, and I'm sure all of you understand that. But now that we've moved beyond the pandemic, there will be action and delivery, because it's essential that we keep our promises to the workers in this country. We are committed to keeping those promises, and through the implementation of a statutory minimum wage, social insurance and pension reform, unemployment insurance, and most importantly, tax reform to reduce the tax burden on workers even more than we have been able to do over the last 4 years. And for workers that are making $50,000 a year, the cumulative tax savings has been, over our time in office, $5,000. So I thank the Minister of Economy and Labor, the Honorable Jason Hayward, for his hard work and devotion, as well as the members of the Cabinet who are ensuring that we see through our promises to our workers, and that we not only do so with the present in mind, but that we are working for a better future as well. And finally, and most importantly, I thank all of Bermuda's workers. You are the foundation of our economy and our community, and you embody strength through unity. I thank you for not only working with the government, but for always making sure to hold us accountable. I look forward to continuing work with you, and I'm honored today as we commemorate International Workers' Day.